Fox Toledo Hardcore Football is brought to you by Central Catholic High School. Now, here's all of tonight's action.
Every set, every down, all game long. If you do that tonight, gentlemen, you will be the men you dream about. You will be the man that you wish to become out there right now, tonight. Here we go! Step up!
A look inside the Northview locker room. We'll check out their game a little bit later on against BG. But yeah, week 5 of hardcore football is already upon us. Time feels like it's flying by, which means we're having fun here at Fox Toledo. And speaking of fun, we get right to it. Mike Thompson has our Jim White Honda game of the week. Whitmer, St. John's, a game everybody's been talking about. Mikey?
Well, Howie, I think anytime you mention track, everybody's going to be talking about what game's going to be going on this week, and we're going to be talking about a lot of games in the track throughout the rest of the season. Tonight, Titans and Panthers, no different. St. John's offense had a challenge on their hands tonight. Whitmer has only just given up 6 points on the season. The Panthers, they've been putting up a bunch of points, about 45 per in the first 4 games, and this got out of hand early. Whitmer taking the field. Beautiful facility over there for the Whitmer Panthers. Coach Doug Pearson and his Titans got behind the 8 ball early. This is Jody Webb, first play of the game, 85-yard touchdown run. Are you kidding me? First play of the game, 85 yards to pay dirt, 7-0, Panthers on top. Second possession for Whitmer. That's a big play for Tyler Smith, in for the injured Palka, into Mark Myers. And then check out Leroy Alexander for the 19-yard touchdown run. 14-zip Panthers, first quarter. Whitmer was rolling all over the defense of St. John's. Coach Palka, he likes it. Check out Jody Webb again. 59-yard touchdown run, 16 carries, 207 yards, 3 touchdowns. One of them was on the receiving end. Now, Whitmer's defense hadn't allowed a touchdown in 14 quarters until that play right there. All for naught. 35-7 is your final. Whitmer, a winner, and they still think they can do more in the season.
Not necessarily. There's still some good opponents down the road, you know, and I made a comment earlier. We have some starters that are out. You know, our young guys just keep plugging along. When we get those guys back, you know, I don't think we've played to our potential yet.
So people claim we didn't really play anyone the first few games, but we had to come out here and show them that we can beat a tough team.
You know, what's interesting is our kids are mad that we let them in at the end, and that's a great sign. That's what you want out of your players. They're going to compete for 4 quarters no matter who we play.
Did you expect that first half to go?
No, not at all. But you know what? It's high school football. It happened. It's over now. We got to go back to the drawing board. We got a lot of work to do.
Definitely a surprise out there tonight, Whitmer Panther Stadium. Talking to several people, nobody expected it to go the way it did. St. John's just got ran over in the first half. In fact, listen to some of these numbers. 450 total yards of offense for Whitmer. The defense for Whitmer held the Titans to just 119 yards passing and 50 on the ground. Add that up, that's 169 total yards of offense for the St. John's Titans. But this Whitmer defense has only now given up 13 points on the season. And as you heard Coach Palka say, they are definitely ticked off that they gave up those 7 points at the end of the third quarter. Look for them to take it out on the Clay Eagles next week. That's who Whitmer will play. But as for our next Jim White Honda game of the week, Howie, where will you send me next week? Or the fans, where will you send us next week?
Well, Mikey, great games are aplenty next week, kind of like they were this week, but only one can become our Jim White Honda Game of the Week. Your choice. Just click on foxtoledo.com and work your voting magic. The winner's announced on Tuesday night. And one of those schools, Central Catholic, obviously has a huge game next week with the Night Irish rivalry, but first things first, Findlay's not a team to look past at all. All the Trojans did was take St. John's last week to double overtime, and that's pretty impressive. It'd also be impressive of Big Ben's former school if they came out with a big win over Central. Their fans were pumped up, ready to go, ready to give them that home field advantage. Findlay's also unbeaten, by the way, at 4-0. Paul Casiano, beautiful pass to Joseph Davidson. First down conversion. Later on, same drive. Casiano in the same position where Big Ben used to be, obviously. Hooks up with Jimmy Orwick for a 15-yard score. That makes it 24-7, Findlay leading after the kickoff. Ben Kupferberg at quarterback for Central. Ball pops loose, and it gets to Austin Niswamber. Comes up with the ball, and 6 points for Findlay. They win tonight over Central, impressively 31-7. Well, that other half of next week's rivalry game, St. Francis, they had Clay tonight. I know they're not looking ahead, but I am, especially now the Knights are done with Clay. And at that Clay game tonight, first quarter, Andy Minor, first down completion, Andrew Marinelli sets up a field goal to make it 10-0 in the first. Later on, Jared Jefferson, he breaks it outside, shoves down around 3 different Clay defenders before he finally gets taken down. 44-yard gain deep into Eagle territory. 2 plays later, David Neese, 2 yards, Scott Warziniak, extra point good. That make it 17-0. Final score of this one. Knights, they take it 30-13. So we've talked about the track, but how about the NLL? Find out which team's got a leg up on the rest of the league up next on Hardcore Football.
Now back to Fox Toledo Hardcore Football.
There's a saying that you control your own destiny. This would hold true for Southview Maumee, although maybe not. Win, and yes, you're still in control to take the league title. Lose, and you fall back, depending a bit on the destinies of other teams. For now, both these teams have the same exact records, and seriously, this one could go either way. At least you thought so before the game. Southview, they came out on fire, determined. Jay Fisher, TD makes it 24-0. It's 24-14 at the half. One of the area's best weapons, Jake Schneider, got going third quarter, and Deontay Bryant on a 3rd and 20 gets 29 yards and a score, 24-21. It's a 3-point game, but Southview, back they come. Austin Valdez, J.Q. Bowers, he's pretty quick. 81 yards, it's a 10-point game, 31-21. Panthers will get within 4 again, but this interception by the Cougars for 6, this puts the game away. Southview wins it 45-27. Well, from Southview to Northview, Battle of Cats, Wildcats, Bobcats, both looking to bounce back from losses last week. First quarter, Northview, 3rd and long. Check out that hit, but still a score. Devin Welch, touchdown, Northview, and of course their fans all dressed up. Pretty impressive, they like that. 47 seconds left in the half, in the first actually. Brandon Hall, a keeper, 14-0 Wildcats, looking impressive. BG on 4th and very long. They go even longer. Andrew Dennis to Michael Sears. That cuts it to 14-6. Final score of this one, Bowling Green comes back 26-14. They win. And of course, the team that beat Northview last week was Anthony Wayne. That helped the Generals continue a perfect season at 4-0, but this league isn't without tests. We saw plenty of good league teams just a bit ago. Perrysburg, they're a challenge too, and they were more than a challenge tonight with their fans combined. Third quarter, Sal Bruno down the sideline, but it's a fumble. Matt Mesker, he recovers for Perrysburg. Later in the fourth, Josh Lindale. This one's another turnover. Matt Mesker. Okay, that leads to this. Austin Bishop, he's on the end around. 34 yards. He's outrunning everybody for the score. Perrysburg, huge win over previously unbeaten Anthony Wayne. Pretty impressive. 21-0.
Absolutely. Just happy with the whole defensive plan. Man, did our kids come to play. You know, it's a team that's averaging 38 points a game. So our defensive line, our linebackers, our defensive backs, they executed it. Just a great, great week for them. And our kids just played their butts off tonight. They took it personally that we lost to them last year, and they played their butts off.
All right, coming up, it's all about football, more football, and wins, and possibly more wins for Genoa. Find out if their epic streak continues next on Hardcore Football. Everybody else has lost to Genoa over the last few years, so if you scratch that game off of Ottawa Hills' record, the Green Bears have been perfect. Not only that, they haven't given up a single point in the last 2 games. And you know what they say, defense wins championships. League game against Hilltop, and Chris Hardman getting his troops fired up. First quarter action, John Rodriguez to Will Longthorne. Playing just like the Longhorns are right now. That's winning football. 36 yards, 7-0 for the Green Bears. These are their first 3 possessions, and during those first 3 possessions, they had an onside kick. Michael Geiger, the kicker, recovering his own kick. That's good stuff. That would set up another touchdown from Rodriguez to Cole Ferguson to make it 21-0. Ottawa Hills, they get the job done. Final score, 48-30. Woodmore and Rossford were just waiting for the Bulldogs' 35-game slump to end. Although, you just had a feeling it was in the air tonight for Todd Drewsback's crew. Final minute, first half, Jonathan Stockard from the 1. Rossford within 3 at the half. 17-14, second half, their first possession. Punt blocked in the end zone. No touchdown, it's a safety, so it's 19-14 Woodmore. Fourth quarter, Rossford on the 2-yard line. Handoff goes to Stockard. And he would have been stopped, but gets some serious help from his lineman. Gets in the end zone, 20-19 they lead, and you know what? They're going to go for 2. They're going to try to do it. Ball somehow winds up in the arms of L.J. Buck, and they do it. They end that 35-game skid, 28-26. Congratulations to Rossford. When a football team wins 10 straight, they get noticed. 20 games, there's no fluke to it. They're legit. Well, Genoa's streak is at 40+, so that's like double the legit factor. And according to what I learned back in the day, that's in my math classes. Back in my history classes, you learn about people who could stop such dominance. Could Lake be a part of history? Early in the first quarter, Genoa's Brandon Roberts, part of the vaunted running attack for the G-men, busts through for 55 yards all the way to the 5-yard line. This would set up Kyle Nutter. 2 plays after that, Nutter, the stud from last year, smooth like butter. 2 yards away. 7-0 Genoa. Then in the second quarter, it'd be Nutter again and again from 2 yards away. Genoa, 38-7 winners. Battle of the Wood, let's check it out.
Are we ready? Are we ready? This is
Are you ready for some football? Because I certainly am. All right, first quarter. 4th and short, Zach Conkle. He gets 11 yards out of it. 7-0 Eastwood. It was simply the beginning. Later in the first, another Conkle. Isaiah Conkle, 49 yards. 14-0 Eastwood. Dylan Krupp on the sidelines. He's pretty happy guy there, but not happy about the score because he's an Elmwood kid. Second quarter, Isaiah Conkle again. 6-yard score, and the Eagles win by shutout, 52-0. Well, Chris Worm was a big part of why Whitmer is the track favorite, but one thing about the Panthers, they have a ton of kids being recruited by D1 colleges. And if you talk to the coaches, one guy who they feel is just about on par with Wormley is Mark Myers. College coaches agree. Here's this week's Hardcore Recruiting Minute. Whitmer coach Joe Palka gave his senior free safety Mark Myers possibly the best compliment ever.
We could have easily made the case last year that Mark would have been our most valuable defensive player, you know, and he really remains probably that.
This is a defense that includes Chris Wormley, who's headed to Michigan. So it's logical that Mark's getting a ton of attention too.
Toledo, BG, Akron, Kent, you know, those schools have all offered them, and Michigan State is in a mode where we believe they're close to offering, at least that's what they've said.
It feels good that you get the opportunity to play at the next level and all, and doing all the right things because everybody don't get to do this and all, so just do everything right and play hard.
He's that rare combination of a guy that can cover and a guy that will play physical. His closing speed is unbelievable, and he always hawks the ball and gets turnovers for us.
I play hard and physical. And doing the right thing, going hard all the time. We do the right thing.
Mark's not quite sure yet which college will be the right thing. He says he'll talk with his family and check out each school's academic programs before ultimately deciding late in the year. We've got more coming up next, including Hardcore Hits. Don't want to miss it. Come back. All right, welcome back to Hardcore Football. Start had that big win over Southview a couple of weeks ago. And lost last week to Sandusky. Tonight, against Tiffin Columbian, they were down 14-0. Tyler Ritter with a 3-yard touchdown run closes it to 14-7. A minute later, though, Tiffin Columbian's Ben Davis drops back. Jonah Boyer, 61 yards for the score. And Tiffin Columbian with a 46-14 win over Start. Moving on to Corey Rawson and Liberty Benton. Big game in the Blanchard Valley Conference. First quarter. Mitch Linhart picked off by Chad Shepler. This interception would lead to a 15-yard touchdown pass to Austin Heath. Liberty Benton, they go on for a big win over Corey Rawson tonight, 41-14. All right, there's a lot of big-time football tonight, and there's a lot of big-time football last week, including the Lions. They're playing some big-time football, which, well, is another way of saying they're pretty hardcore and worthy of joining the Hardcore Hit Party. So check it out right now because we have final scores at foxtoledo.com. That's for later, but for right now, it's Hardcore Hits, the masterpiece of Mr. Mike Thompson. Have a good night, everybody.